Let's talk Google Local Service Ads, or LSA for short. So Google Local Service Ads is a new type of marketing. It came on the scene 3 to 4 years ago, whereas PPC's been around for a little while. So Google LSAs is a dumbed down version of PPC. Now, it's an important lead funnel for most service businesses, including ours. So if you talk to most home service companies, they'll tell you that LSAs is a pretty significant portion of their total performance advertising spend. Sometimes all of it. Maybe they've shut off PPC completely because LSAs were so good. Now, LSAs have been good for a long time, but they've gotten a lot more competitive recently. So, a year, 2 years ago, you could bid on services in drains and in electric that were maybe $7 to $10 a lead. You can scale that forever. That's a Chipotle bowl, right? Like that, you could run that to the moon and back. But those leads now might be $50 to $60. So what's happened is there's a few different things at work. One, search demand is down. So consumers are harmed, interest rates are high, economy's not doing great, so people are just looking less. And two, while that's happening, more companies are bidding on those LSA terms. More companies need more work because organic search is down. So a lot of our primary keywords have gone up 3, 4, and 5 times over the past year, just in the past year. So leads have really increased a lot. Now that said, LSA is still an effective tool. And some people run $20, $30 million businesses completely off of Google LSAs. It is a powerful lead engine, and it's very easy. So you can hire an agency to manage it, and that's usually best when you run a lot of ad spend through LSAs. If you're running it just a couple bucks, let's say $200 a week, you can self-manage that pretty easily. Now, the best way to manage LSAs is, if you're doing it or if you have an agency doing it, is you have to give some data back to Google. You put your money in, you select what job types you want to bid on, you add your licensing or whatever it is that you need to do, and then you start bidding on those jobs. And it's nice because it's immediate. Like, you will start getting leads that day probably. But how good is your book rate? How good is your call center? This stuff really matters because this is an urgent customer. They're calling in with a problem right now, today, and they need a solution. And if you can't pick up and deliver, you're going to lose that customer. So LSAs is good because it's immediate and it can make a real impact on your business quickly. And that should not be overstated or understated. We rely on LSAs a lot. A lot of businesses do. I don't think it should be your exclusive lead funnel, but it should absolutely be a part of what you do. LSAs now shows near the top, right underneath PPC. If you're searching on mobile, I think it actually shows up at the absolute top. So it's one of the very first things that happens when you search for a plumber near me or landscaper near me or whatever the search is. But that's Google LSAs, an important way to drive leads in your home service business.